It's something. I don't know.
Are you sure that's not Shadow Puppet Dog?
No, this is some sort of, not this, for quiet.
I know, right?
We are live. All right, call to order, rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we are redesigning this room, can we move the flags away from our noses?
No, Emily prefers
Yeah, when I was vice, no, it was like the love of the flag.
The patriotism that came out.
Correct. All right, other than that, any other public comment?
It's a dangling.
Yes. All right, that moves us to, the president's report. It's recommended that the board approve the work session minutes of February 11th and, the business legislative minutes of February 18th, 2025.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Next up, we have, information from Parkway.
Yes, just have just one item of, good news that, Parkway was awarded a supplemental equipment grant from PA Department of Education in the amount of $356,000. It says, the only information I have is that it's gonna be utilized to replace and or add capital equipment across all different programs. And that brings the total grant awards for 2024, 2025 to $991,365. So maybe we'll hit that $1 million mark by the end of the year.
Yeah, that is
Getting up there, yeah.
And just to make sure, they, all of their shops are up and running, and if people want to get a car inspected or get their hair done or have their animals cared for, that's all available right now, right?
We are getting close to, well, there's still the whole month of April.
Yeah.
May, at some point in May, it will kind of shut down, but.
Okay.
Well, I put in a request for cars, I'm still waiting to hear back. It's been a few days, I might have to ping him.
Who knows?
Yeah, I have found the form isn't always checked, but
Oh, I don't do this, I do
reading the
email.
form,
I think, it is a little antiquated, but also, I think that they're very
Probably
busy,
busy,
probably
yeah.
in the first place, so if they were seeking out the business, like, it'd be one thing, but I think it's just kind of a cherry on top kind of service.
How does somebody learn how to do that? Like, how do you put in a request for something?
you go to the website.
Call?
So,
You just go on the website?
yeah, so what I would do, take advantage of it, if you let me know, I would just email Dr. Copeland.
But I'm just saying, if anybody's online, if anybody's
General
listening,
General
just
public.
Look on the website,
Yeah, there's a
maybe?
website.
'Cause I
Maybe
know-
on the
yeah.
website, Rhiannon, I'm
Yeah.
not 100%
Okay.
sure. I know he always tells the superintendents, just tell your people to give me a
Yeah.
call or email him directly, because that's what he usually
For
tells
the
them.
department.
Or the department head, and I'm not sure, we've had some changes over there. Some of the departments, I'm not sure who the head is, so,
It's anything like the fish fry, you have to call in on the
Yeah.
phone
Yes,
system and
yeah,
place
if you
an
want
order.
fish fry,
It's a
you
little
can
bit
call early.
antiquated.
Yeah, call early.
Call early.
Well, that's all right, that's why, we put it out there so that
Yeah.
people know that they can support students that way.
So if I may just jump in, Misha, so, next week in your or this week in council report, I'll have the board meetings for the next fiscal year. Okay, I have them all on the line. Since we're talking about Parkway, do you want to go back out for one meeting at Parkway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up to the board,
Wanna come?
it's not up to me.
If
You wanna go if they say yes and you're here tonight, you come, Christian. I'm just saying. but-
How it works,
So,
RSVP.
You will still wanna go out there? Do you still wanna do it in October, or do you, it's up to you.
October's nice.
It's October, good, weather's still nice, you're fine with that? Okay, so when we have the board approve that in April, we'll make sure that one meeting, I'll check with Dr. Copeland tomorrow, we'll make sure that one meeting states that this will be off-site and held at Parkway, because we have to advertise it that way, so, okay. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Shaw. Mr. Rozzo, anything with Shasta?
Unfortunately, I have nothing new other than the April 12th, we're gonna have that student conference out South Point. And I wanna make a announcement, over the weekend, we lost, KO, lost one of, the big guys from the family, one of the custodians passed away on Saturday. His name was Rich Nagy, he was, I think he was a custodian at Aiken. He passed away on Saturday, the Lord took him away from us. He was also a Keystone alumni, and, he'll be missed. He was a wonderful person and, a good worker, and, he'll be missed, and, keep your prayers and thoughts for his family and friends. I just wanted to make that announcement, and that's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Thanks for letting us know.
Mrs. Lyden, any news from PSBA?
Nothing new.
All right. Any news from the boroughs?
Well, fish fry's still going on.
At St. Anne's?
Yeah, I'll get there early, the pierogies are running out at 4:30, so that's what I heard.
And we did not meet in executive session previous to this meeting. And that takes us to our superintendent's report. Dr. Straka?
Thank you, Mrs. Donahue. Item 1, I'm recommending to the board the appointment of Polly Farren as the supervisor of special education effective July 1 at the salary listed there. And this is pending all receipts of all her required paperwork. And she will be, that position is part of the Act 93 administrator's compensation and performance.
She'll be here for next,
She'll be here for next school year.
make that motion. Second.
Any discussion?
Glad to see that filled.
Yes, me too.
Not as much as Dr.
Welcome.
Hanley. Dr. Hanley, are you smiling right now? I thought so.
Smiling and clapping.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
And I'll do the next 3 together since they're policies. Recommend the board approve the first reading of the Title I parent policies as listed. And that's items 2, 3, and 4.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Can you clarify why there are 3 different policies and why Aiken doesn't have a separate policy?
I'll let Dr. Varley do that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let her, since she's here, I can explain it, but let's put her on the spot.
Fort Aiken is not a Title I school, so, they would not have a Title I parent policy, because of that. We need to have a district policy for Title I, and then there needs to be a school level policy. And Dormont and Myrtle are a Title I school, so they each have to have their own policy.
And they qualify based on parent income.
Lunch.
Yeah, the reduced lunch.
Now, I'll take it one step further real quick. So
Aiken does
Go
have,
ahead.
though, a reading support program. They just don't have to follow Title I guidelines.
and it's fully funded by the district. So there's a reading specialist over there, fully funded, so all the buildings have that. But they don't qualify under the federal guidelines to have Title I services brought in.
Gotcha.
And the only other note I'll make is that we have to we have to approve them every year, even if there's not changes. In this case, I would say like every 3 or 4 years, there's like little tweaks based on the federal guidelines.
This year.
But a lot of times it's just a review, and so
This
I think
all
we're
comes from a federal program, what we have to do with them, so I attend monthly meetings, they gave us new templates specifying what all of the policy language looks like in school, so that's what.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Question, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
And I'll do items 5 and 6 together. We discussed those, I brought this to your attention. Item 5, recommended approve the donation from the Borough of Dormont for the Ford Explorer Police SUV. And item 6, donation from the literary ladies, for $200 for books for the Keystone Oaks High School Library.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Any discussion?
thank you.
Yes, thank you. When will the Ford Explorer, you said that we're gonna have it covered by Parkway, hopefully.
Yeah.
Do we have a road date for it, or it'll just happen when it happens?
No, we'll talk with Parkway to see when we can get it. We're actually going to try to get donations from a lot of businesses for like things of that nature. Whatever we can't get through donations, we have a lot of money in the budget left over where we'll be able to cover based on expenses. So there's no timetable. The SUV's ready to come to us right away. They were just waiting for board approval and proof of insurance. So once that happens, it'll be right away. But like Annie said, Parkway's sort of busy now, so it may not be detailed till the summertime for in there, but we're going to try to get it as soon as possible. So.
And the businesses that are donating just to be nice, or is it gonna be like a Formula One car?
No, no, a lot of them are just like donating like things of that
I think
nature.
that would be cool.
No, they're like first responders, things of that nature, where they help
Okay,
out
gotcha.
police departments, things of that, so.
Thank you. Formula One, that's my vote. All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
And the last item, item 8, we have recommended the board approve the professional development request that is listed there. We talked about that last week.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
And before I conclude my report, there's something I forgot to tell the board last week. I didn't tell you, but some of you were here and I discussed it. So while we were in New Orleans and prior to that, I have been nominated by the League of Innovative Schools to apply and put applications in for myself, as I've been recognized as an innovative superintendent through the League of Innovative Schools. What that does now is, after that, what I now have to do is put it in, and through the superintendent, the school district will become a League of Innovative Schools, so whether or not, and will remain that. So I'm just in the process right now of, I'm working on the application, and what's today's only Tuesday, so 3 times already this week, the girl said, you are turning it in, you are, from the way. Yes, I'm turning it in, but it's a lot of work on the application.
What is it called again, the League of?
The League of Innovation Schools, it's, so you'll hear it under 2 names. We have 2 organizations over time that ended up blending as one again. You used to have this thing called the League of Innovation Schools, and then you may have heard this program called Digital Promise. So there are 2. They've become one. Okay, they join forces. So some people will call it Digital Promise, some will say the League of Innovative Schools. I refer to it as the League of Innovative Schools.
Is this Pennsylvania?
Nationwide.
Nationwide. Wow.
So you're being honored, but you have to do all the work.
Sounds like it. I guess
I'm
so.
sorry,
So I
guess.
have been nominated, so I found out that I've been nominated by 3 local superintendents and 2 national superintendents who I happen to meet through AASA. Did not know it, so I have found out. Both the superintendent of Duquesne City here and the superintendent of South Bay Ave locally, and then the former superintendent of San Ramon in the outside of San Francisco. I think that's what John Malloy was, correct? Joe, you've mentioned, yeah, San Ramon. Yeah, that's the one. And then the other one was the school district down in Mississippi. That was out of there. So just with the work that I've been doing with the AASA and so on and so forth. So we're on the map. Like, people do recognize us. So just to let you know, so there. So we'll see. I'll let you know. I have to go through the whole process to fill out applications. But yeah, you're nominated and stuff, but I have a lot of work to do.
I mean, they're honoring you, and you have to do all the work.
But I have until April 30th to do it, so they did give me a couple months to do it.
Does that come with any future benefits for the school?
For you, recognition, there will be logos that will be able to go on the website, will be able to go on various things and recognizing opportunities for staff development, opportunities for board. There's a lot of those things in that there too, both locally and things. Now, because we all learned through the days that when we experienced the pandemic, a lot of the meetings, everything else is a lot of Zoom. You don't have to travel all over the place. You just stay in your office and you work. You do whatever. So it's forming partnerships. And like everything else, there are smaller subcommittees what you want to get involved in, and they are already somebody told them, I have no clue who it was, but somebody must have told them about our instructional design toolkit and the work that I've been doing in classrooms. Because when I met the girl down, the lady at down in New Orleans, that's the first thing she said. So tell me about you as a superintendent, how you're in the classrooms and what you're doing. Well, who told you? She wouldn't tell me, but she knew. So I don't know. So I don't know if that one over there said anything. So, but anyhow, I needed to let you know. I did forget to tell you last week.
Thank you. All right, and that concludes
Thank you,
your
Doctor.
report.
You're welcome.
On to the education report. It's recommended that the board approve the AIU transition memorandum of understanding between Keystone School District and Head Start in accordance with the Every Student Succeeds Act and Title I. May I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Just a side note, this is done yearly as well. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. And that concludes my report. On to Ms. Snyder with the communications report.
Thank you. We have two items. The first item, as we talked about last week, it's recommended that the board approve the agreement with Parent Square Smart Sites for content management and hosting services. That's for our new website. And like I said last week, it partners and interacts with Parent Square, and it's costing us less than our current contract. So, Sarah's very much looking forward to our website review. And thanks to her for the work she did looking for that. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Any discussion?
It's great she found something that was close to us too, and the information she gave, sounds like it'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
And then the second item, is for, an agreement with the AIU to complete some graphic design work. And I meant to bring this last week, but this is just an example of some of the stuff that they've done that, we got at the communication meeting, just to take a look at. So, it's recommended that the board approve the agreement between the Allegheny Intermediate Unit for graphic design services related to the district logos. And the cost of the project is not to exceed $3,870, which is kind of the middle ground.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just hope that we actually get a golden eagle.
It's gonna be trade policy it's also gonna be, just for information purposes, I guess Sarah has been working on like some guidelines too that are gonna be rolled out for the fall to go along with the new.
And we plan to slowly phase things out. It's not an overhaul.
Yeah.
So, but getting the website, is a good timing, right?
Yeah, kind of
Getting
all
everything at once.
together a little bit there.
That's good. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Dr. Strauss here with the pupil personnel report.
Sure. Are you okay if we just do all four together, because there's no changes from last week? I'll just read through them real quick, and that's every year, items 1 and 2 have to be done. Item 1 is, I'm recommending the board approve the notice of adoption, and that one is saying that we are going to follow all of the policies and procedures and the use of funds. And then in number 2, it's a sub-grant that is part of that. You have to approve this separately because it's particular. You have to be on the books to say that we're going to agree to implement the Individuals with Disabilities Act Part B, which is inside of this. We have to acknowledge that every year so the IU has that on record. That's where our pass-through funds come in and so on and so forth from the federal government come through. Then the other two items that we talked about are services for students who are outside of the client services agreement with Solent, for employees as listed there, we talked about last week. So, I'm recommending those 4 items.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
That concludes the report.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll take the personnel report today. It's recommended that the board accept the following retirement. Patricia Constantini, paraprofessional, 19 years.
Make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Thank you for those years.
Congratulations.
Yep.
19 years is a long time. That's wonderful, thank you. All
All
of
of the high school students, well,
she's with the high school?
Oh, I think all 19. In the high school.
She's filled that out.
Oh, has she?
No, Mario.
Did she really?
she was at Dormont for like 10 years.
Yeah,
Oh, I
she's
didn't
a
know
dorm.
that.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, no, she was.
Well, I'll see her down at Dormont.
Before your time.
This is before me.
Yeah.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Section 2, appointments in compliance with the KOEA collective bargaining agreement. It's recommended that the board approve Sean McCreary as the social studies high school teacher. We also have custodian in compliance with the Service Employees International Union Local 32BJ collective bargaining agreement. It's recommended that the board approve 2 custodians there. Fanny, I can read that name, and Daniel Rosenberger. How do you say Fanny's last name? Just from my own knowledge. What is it? Guzco? Guazco? Guazco?
One of those is correct.
And then we have part-time custodians, Stacy Banis? Can I just do all of them? Approval of stipends, according to KOEA collective bargaining, we have a middle school softball head coach assistant with 2 of those. We are also approving or recommending that we approve the weight room facilitator of Mr. McCormick with his stipend listed there, and Natalie Tortorella as a lifeguard. That's great, $14 an hour. Can I keep going? No?
You could do
The whole thing? Okay. The teaching load compensation there, for the KOEA collective bargaining agreement, for the secondary teacher stipends for classes 30 or above. People there. Postseason coaching stipends, for basketball, girls and boys, and wrestling, meaning that they moved on beyond regular season, correct?
Right, for every $100, that's how many weeks they went past regular season.
Great. Okay. All right. So all of those together?
I'll make
Can I
that
get a-
motion.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Just the congratulations to those 3 sports, and I guess they went 4 rounds. That's really great. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. All right, the next one is recognizing the following individuals as completed the requirements for the, according to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, for achieving tenure, and that's 2 employees there.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to them. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. And then I'll take the next 2 together. We have family medical leave for employee number 2114, And then intermittent family and medical leave for the employees that are listed there, 5 employees.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. And that concludes my report, and we're off to Mr. Hill for the finance report.
Well, thank you. All right, so the first item I have is accounts payable list for the month ending February 28th, as listed.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
The second item is the 2025-2026 AIU Program of Services budget. The administration recommends the board approve the 2025-2026 AIU Program Service budget in the amount of $2.3 million. The Allegheny County AIU 3 School District's total contribution to the budget is about 1.9, roughly $2 million there. The program services budget is estimated for Keystone Oaks to be about $40,054, with the district aid ratio and weighted average daily membership. That withholding allocation will be determined by the PA Department of Education sometime around July or after July 1st, 2025. And then for the information only, this a nominal increase of about $596.52 to the district compared to that 2024-2025 school year.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
The $40,000, is that what Keystone School District is on the hook, what they owe? That's our share?
Yeah,
That's our
Out of,
the estimate.
the total is $2 million, right? And the Allegheny County's putting up $1.9 million. Is that correct, what I'm reading?
Mhm.
And how many districts are there? I mean, it's
42.
42.
So you have no choice in this.
I'm just
This
saying.
is done by the state, and they will take the money off of you. You just have to acknowledge it. In IUs, the way the law is written, in IUs, there are 27 IUs in the state.
Right.
This is the formula that is used, and that will come right off of your basic education funding.
Mhm.
It comes right up. You just have to approve the fact that this is the dollar
They
figure.
acknowledge it.
Every public school in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, okay, public school, not charter, not cyber charters, but just your regular public schools out of 501, have to belong to an IU. In our Constitution in Pennsylvania. So that's how it operates. So all you're saying is acknowledging this is the amount. So, and as you can see, ours doesn't really shift much from year to year. It's just a couple $100 here. Sometimes it's up a little, couple hundred. Sometimes it's down a little bit. But because of where we are, in Allegheny County, we're very unique. There's really not, there's either school districts that have 200, the closest would be 200 more kids than we have, or 200 and less. We're kind of sitting there by ourselves. So that makes our number never really fluctuate.
Right.
Like other districts. Yeah, so.
Well, thank you for
It's
explaining.
it's a complicated formula. If you'd like to, you could come to my office tomorrow and I'll show it to you.
But we've never write a check for it, it's just.
You never write a check for it.
It never flows
I'm
through
gonna work
us.
on my physics tomorrow.
Yeah, you, come on over, it comes right out of your basic education funding. At some point in the fall, Joe will see a deductible on it, and it'll say specifically it's for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll tell him that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, sorry, opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
The third item is a new item. I don't believe this was on the report last week. So this is a GovConnection Chromebook purchase for $242,050. And this will be for the first, fifth, and ninth grades. It's a one-for-one program, device program. And will also support mandated online state testing in the beginning of next year.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Is this the normal cycle?
Yes, and this is budgeted.
Yeah, this was in the
Yeah.
budget for this year.
This is in the budget.
The money's still there, funds are, so.
So it's in the, so what we're doing is Mr. Kubiak put onto the site, well, to put it in the budget this year so they can be purchased now, so they're here for the fall. So that's what we'll always do, so they're ready there and they're ready to go.
What about the other grades?
What's the cycle on, how does he?
I think they just got some last year. for
Yeah,
the
I
other
think so.
grades, and then we always reevaluate based on how many are still in good condition, where they are, so, that. But I know there's another cycle next year that just continues at lower amounts to keep replenishing.
And the pricing, I guess for instance, is the cooperative purchasing, think that this is a set price for this year or
Yeah.
something, okay?
Yes.
So they can't change it on us, because I got an email at work about that
Yeah.
other tech companies are starting to increase prices for big clients.
Yeah, so this is the price we got, and we're all know, federal and stuff like with the tariffs and stuff. This has
Yeah.
already been quoted to us, all that is taken care of. We won't get, you won't get this surprise hit with us. This is already, the quote is signed off, so we're not all gonna sudden later on find out that price went up 5%.
Well, next year we might see that.
Next
You
year-
may next year and all that, but right now, that's to Ms.
I
Shaw's
just
point.
thought that
That's
there
the
was
price.
another tech company that.
There was,
that I
there is
saw.
another one, yeah.
Then does it make financial sense to purchase more this year?
Yeah, right.
I guess the question is, the quick answer is yes, but I don't know what's in the, what we budgeted.
Yeah,
So it's a question of what's in the budget.
And is it,
I
I
agree
mean,
with you,
you
yeah.
get updated software every year, and, is it really?
yeah, and it would depend on the models and how many they have and things of that nature. So while it may on paper look like it would make sense, one, the budget, we wouldn't be able to afford a whole other set, with the budget would go over. Two, depending on that model, if they all go out a certain, like, we get the newer models every time we get them, just to make sure they're lasting at least 3-4 years, with that 5 years ago.
Yeah. Do you know how many computers this is for $242,000?
And are they gonna have styluses?
I do that.
I do not believe they will have styluses.
The kids ask me that all the time. I don't know.
My
but I
fifth
can
grader
find
got a
out.
new
Oh, yeah.
computer this year without a
Without
stylus,
a
and I heard
stylus. Oh, I
about
heard
it
about it.
September, October.
Yeah, I heard from the high school middle school, where's my stylus?
470.
How many, did you?
470.
470.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
And the last item is the exoneration of the tax collectors for all three, towns there, Castle Shannon, Dormont, and Tree, as written.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
What? So you're looking at $1 million that weren't paid for the school year. Like, what happens to that?
Goes to collections.
So they get turned over, we use MVM tax, I have nothing but good things to say about them, they've done great.
You gotta collect.
I've seen others, so, I've actually already turned over the list to them because I reviewed it to make sure there's no discrepancies, any issues, I resolved tax collectors, so, once I turn it over to them, they start, mailing letters, calling them, setting up plans for people to pay those taxes. Ultimately, if they don't, then we'll head down the sheriff's sale road. That's the last resort, typically we don't like to do that, but they've already been contacting, a lot of the, property owners to try to get those payments. But like I said, if they don't pay year after year, then it would end up for sheriff's sale and go down that route. So,
Do you have some sense of what was paid out from last year? Nearly $1 million that we released them from?
yeah, I can get that. Typically, we see, anywhere from 600 to 800,000 in delinquent collection each year, sometimes more now. Those could be from either last year, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I'll ask that for a report, but yeah, I mean, typically each year we see around that amount of more than like $800,000 range in delinquent tax collection over the year, from them. So,
Which would you say this year's higher than?
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, this year's higher than last year. Like I said last week, where we're seeing a big hit for this year was, in commercial properties. I know I shared with some people that asked, Castle Shannon alone saw about $198,000 in commercial property delinquencies this year, whereas last year they only had about $79,000. So that's where the majority is. I know the appeals have been going through. We've settled some in other, boroughs, but as far as Castle Shannon, we haven't really had any. So I'm sure that's on the horizon for some of them. A lot of places may not be able to pay them, and then they'll go through the appeal process to try to get a lower assessed value based on things. So that's the majority. As far as residential owners, we didn't really see much of an increase or change from last year, even compared to years before that. So where the majority is in that commercial property.
Which is where the most money gets tied up.
And we have been lucky, so this goes back to one of our board members who's been here a little bit longer than I have, will tell you. We had one commercial property in the community that when I got here owed us well over $300-some thousand. Remember that?
That's, I can see that.
You could
Yeah,
see that,
uh-huh.
remember I brought the attention.
Yeah.
We did eventually get all that money, though, it took over time, but we did get it all and they did pay. So these are, when these came through, and Mr. Kubiak shared them with me, they did catch my attention because they are higher. The other thing that he has shared there too is that we have been giving refunds as well too. We've been losing the bill, you lose on property assessments, those are continuously going. So we've been doing refunds and refunds and refunds. But when he budgets, we always budget for about 96% collection. So it never throws off the budget. If we come in better than 96%, great.
Right.
Which we usually do. You have this, but at least we always, every year, we've always taken into consideration, you're not going to get something.
Yeah.
How much is it? So we've been very fortunate. We usually get, is that correct, Joe, 96? We usually hit our mark. Is that correct? Pretty good.
Close.
We're
We're never over. Sometimes a little less, sometimes.
Oh, no, but when we
it's
hit our
pretty-
mark, we're within 4% or so and so forth, give or take. It's been in the 90s, so it's been common for us. What makes Keystone Oaks unique is that we have the right percentage of commercial property and residential property that balances out. We're not one of those districts where you're relying all on commercial, heavily commercial, or you're heavily residential. We have the right balance overall, which really helps us out. And we benefited from that over time, so.
Thank you. I have a quick question. Vicki McGurk, is Service her last name, or does she have a service?
She has a service.
Vicki McGurk.
It's just Vicki McGurk.
Is it, that was my question. Is it a typo or? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
And that concludes our report.
Thank you. And we're over to Mr. Razzo with the Buildings, Grounds, and Transportation.
Good evening, folks. Got one item tonight. We have a change order from American Athletics. It's recommended the board approve the change order dated November 24th from All American Athletics for a new wall base and thresholds in the middle school and high school gyms, not to exceed $10,600. This is based on the bleachers that were passed in October. The contractor feels that the thresholds and wall base need replaced because of age and deterioration. So that's why we have this change order. Well, we didn't know it was back there from the get-go, so it's part of construction. You always see extra costs, so that's trying to explain to board members who want to know what this change order is. And it's also co-starred. So I'll make that motion.
Second. Any discussion?
Is this covered with any contingency? I didn't hear it, Mr. Hill.
No, we don't.
I didn't say it was a contingency. Okay. Never mind. Does that answer your question? Sure. Okay.
And is this getting done right now?
Okay. So it'll be done when they come in.
Yeah.
When we walked around, we noticed, especially in the middle school, they have a metal wall base, and in most of the areas it's sticking out, and I'm surprised that students haven't been injured on it. Also, since we're getting all brand new flooring, bleachers, we thought it was best just to make everything newer, up to compliance, safer for all the students. So, we asked them to give us a quote. They weren't much what we thought. It was best just to replace them, especially at the moment.
It's like, you get a new car, you wanna get some new hubcaps. Car,
Some spinners on them,
yeah.
It's more like making sure you have good brakes, but
Yeah. Good brakes.
safety issue.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
And I have an announcement, we will be meeting on the 25th of March for we're gonna be, piggybacking with the Finance Committee. We're gonna have a meeting, it's gonna be a short one. I don't know if you looked in your, emails, it's recommended that you bring some recommendations of the construction for the 3 elementary schools to be, looked at, so we could, I have an idea if we're all on the same, page.
What time is that meeting, Sonny?
I believe there's a meeting at
5:30.
5:30, thank you.
yeah, because I think we have a policy meeting that evening too.
Right,
So
sure.
we have a lot of work jammed in that just a little bit of time. So bring your recommendations for the projects that you think that should be necessary done. Because we want to start this right away. We have a lot of work to do, and we want to get this plan. We have 3 schools plus the middle school and high school fixed. So got to stay on top of this, or else it's going to bite us at the end. So just letting you know.
But thank you, in the capsule, Dr. Shopke also sort of broke it down, with different dates of different things, so that helps.
It'll help,
Hunt it out.
it'll actually help Mrs. Myers, because all you have to do, if you want to just email it to her, she'll compile everything for all of us. So don't feel as though you have to redo it. You could, if you marked up your book with the comments, in your book, she'll put that, however you want to do it, we'll compile everything. And then at one of the meetings, either at that meeting, because Mr. Kubiak's going to lay out some things on finance and some other processes, we'll have to make a determination. Normally, the board does not, I'll just put this on your radar, normally we do not meet for a board meeting in July. But to keep this momentum and stuff going, we may need a meeting or two just because of this project, to keep this going so that we don't fall behind. But that, obviously, we will work it by the will of the board, and so we try to stay away from July, give everybody vacation stuff, but with this there, we don't want to lose that momentum, so just keep that in mind, but Joe will talk about that.
And all your input would be, we want to know what you think, so this is a consensus, so we all know, we want to be arguing.
The next building, wait, I'm confused.
Yeah, it's not on the
It's a
calendar.
finance.
It's a finance meeting.
Yeah.
So on the 25th is not a buildings and grounds, it's advertised as
Okay,
finance.
okay,
We talked about
but with okay.
Yes,
Got it.
there'll be a little bit of that in, but Joe's going to talk more about the finance and the start thinking about that.
We'll set the stage of what we expect every buildings and grounds meeting. That way you guys
Right.
know coming in what we're going to work on to keep them, shorter and concise. That way we're not just spending hours there. So we'll set
Exactly.
that
So we
stage.
stay focused, we have some short meetings, boom, boom, boom. And then believe beginning the April meeting, that's what finance and buildings and grounds piggyback on each other. So then you could have a longer meeting.
And then on May 8th, we meet again, and I believe it's Joe Kubiak's birthday.
Is it?
Got it.
25, right, Joe?
Just about.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Mr. Ross.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, Mr. LaPorte's actually not here tonight, so I will go through his items. It's recommended that the board approve the advertisement of athletic bids for winter, spring of the 25-26 school year. And can I take them all? I can take the next one too, right? All of them? All right, it's recommended that the board approve the fall athletic bids, in the amount of $109,457.04 from the following companies. And then we have some competitive events. We have the NAFME, what do you call that?
National
NAFME.
Association for Music Educators.
Oh, okay. And we did talk about that last
Yes,
week,
that was it.
and we approved the project, right?
Yeah.
Boys varsity basketball, the level 2, girls also varsity basketball, level 2, FBLA, level 2, Odyssey of the Mind regionals, level 1, and 10 teams there were 10 teams, but now 7 teams are moving on. And so that's the state competition, level 2.
Right, so that item is new from last week. So the Odyssey of the Mind State Competition Level 2, that is new. That's for them to go April 5th to the Pocono Mountain East High School.
But that amount includes, a hotel.
Yeah, 2 nights, Friday night, Saturday night.
I mean, I think that's important to put in there because it looks like a huge amount for one day.
And
It
a
looks like-
bus, and and the parents
Chaperone.
pay whatever's not paid.
It's just important to put that, out there for people just to know exactly what goes into that amount of money. And it's the same for the basketball teams as well.
Well,
It
each
looks like a
student,
big amount of
each
money.
student has like a price, right? So it's all in
Yes, and it's
policy.
in policy,
Yeah.
that, and then.
And then we also have robotics at the middle school level for level 2. Oh, and wrestling, varsity, level 2. Wow, look at that. All right, that concludes that report. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
And I just want to reiterate, Ms. Lindsay brings up a really, very good point. That is not the total cost, that's just what you're having. There's a lot of other money that's going into this, that these various booster groups or parents have to also pay into there too. Yeah, so that's not the full
Not
amount.
$22,000 in
Yeah,
Pocono
yeah,
for a week.
right, if you notice it says total district funds, that doesn't mean that there's another funds coming up from other groups, yes.
What, do you know what the purchases for the athletics are? Like, what are you purchasing for that cost at the top?
That is fall athletics, so softball, baseball, I don't exactly have it written down.
Football.
Yeah, it was in, it's in the caption.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's a breakdown, yeah, if you go, there's a breakdown.
Yeah, there's a report in there, that's right, there's a full report there, a breakdown of every item.
Is the Oaks
We got
uniform?
extra shirts for Dr. Shopkey to wear,
Black one?
visors.
I'm very
Underwear.
proud to say that they no longer have to get me 2 X's, I'm down to either a large or an extra large.
Woo-hoo.
And so it's costing less now, from what I heard.
Nice.
There's less material, so let's be smart. Touche. So I'm trying to cut
If
costs.
it's American
So I'm
made, it
trying
could
to
be
cut
even
costs.
cheaper.
I like to think in
I cut costs, I cut costs, so guess what now? There's less material, costs cheap, there you go.
The
The whip
discussion,
tonight.
the discussion
And,
is coming out in this report.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. All right, and that takes us back to public comment, to which we have none. And, up next on our agenda here is adjournment.
So before you adjourn, so please, I want you to keep in mind, the next 2 months, the board meetings do not fall the normal weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so so I put it in the council for you. So in April, we do not meet the 2nd and 3rd, we meet the 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
And in May, we meet the 2nd and 4th week. I'll put it, so we don't follow the normal flow the next 2 months, so.
Is that why we have the Tuesday, the 15th date on this?
Yeah, it's right below that.
Yes, correct, that's why you see,
Just
yeah.
kind of adds a
Yeah,
reminder.
we don't, the reason for that is because there was, I thought it, when we're putting this together too, that Mr. Kubiak and I both would not be here because there's a national conference in San Diego. Well, I'm not going, because if I would have gone, I would have probably been divorced, because it's Ava's, it's the week of the musical, and I have to be here, she's at the lead, so that's why I'm not
That's
going.
way
to
more
that.
important than the.
And the reason in May we did that is because you would have a board meeting fall on election day, and we don't do that, so that's why there's a change.
Good forethought. All right, any other discussion? Are we ready for adjournment?
motion to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?